In our present world, the demand to be a moral man has been entirely lost, resulting in a powerful pandemic of masculinity. Those who retain their virtue are few in number and genuinely a disappearing breed. Everything centers on your current emotional state. People engage in things only when they feel like it. This term has grown so prevalent that it is the most significant factor that might work against you. For instance, what would someone say if you urged them to go to the gym? I don't feel like it. A life focused on emotions is the greatest obstacle to leading a good existence. Rehearse that again. Living a life governed by emotions is the greatest obstacle to living a good life. Why? Because basing your life on emotions keeps you in a constant state of pursuit. You would only choose to accomplish anything if it made you happy. By joyful, I mean if you find it sufficiently exciting. I want you to grasp this idea. The purpose of life is not to be happy, but to do the right thing, and only when you do the right thing will you be genuinely happy. This is the most basic description of virtuous life. Let's return to the straightforward case of your obesity. If you have never been to the gym or exercised in your life and you are still motivated by your emotions, you would not do what is proper, which in this case is to lose weight. You feel lifeless since you are aware that you should be exercising, but you believe that by pursuing your emotions, you can fill this gap. To excite yourself, you decide to sit on the sofa and watch a large number of Netflix movies back to back. However, when the film ends, you are unsatisfied. Thus, you return to McDonald's to get more food, but you are still unsatisfied, and the cycle repeats. Consider what might occur if you choose to live a moral life. If you were led by your virtues rather than your emotions. After days and months of doing the right thing, you would exercise. You have discovered genuine happiness. Every time you glance in the mirror, every time you pass girls, and every time you enter a place, you feel confident. Unlike the momentary stimulation from McDonald's or Netflix TV shows, which lasts for a few seconds or hours, you now experience it whenever you walk or look around. You just heard that the purpose of life is not to be happy, but to do what's right, and only when you do what's right will you be genuinely content. But where do you begin? Where does everything start? What is the most effective approach to become more macho and moral? The solution is straightforward. Start by being trustworthy. Whatever you say, adhere to your word. It is quite easy to slip into the trap of attempting to impress others in today's world. Do of this, you may say, okay, I'll see you tomorrow, but you never do. You merely stated that to make them happy in the now, and instantly your brain has registered that you do not keep your word. As you maintain this behavior, your self-esteem will plummet to the point that you will begin to despise yourself. In fact, this is the most common cause of depression. Therefore, if you want to be manly, the first step is to develop greater self-respect. Think, why should other people respect you if you do not respect yourself? Why should they treat you differently from a homeless drug addict who claims he needs money for clothing but spends the money on drugs? Therefore, begin by maintaining your promise. However, bear in mind that keeping your word is a habit, similar to seed retention, that you must exercise, cultivate, and grow over time. Do not resort to extremes immediately. Suppose you have the habit of waking up at 11 a.m. daily. You are aware that you should be getting up earlier to remedy this situation. Do not tell yourself to get up at 6 a.m., as this is a drastic change and you will likely not be able to wake up at that time. If you told yourself that you would wake up at 6 a.m. and then failed to do so, your brain will remember this the following morning or for the next several weeks if you continue to tell yourself that you would get up at 6 a.m. and then fail to do so. What occurs? Your self-respect and self-esteem are once again spiraling downward. Start slowly. Say out loud, before going to bed, that you will wake up at 9 a.m. for the first several weeks. This might be 9 a.m. Continue waking up at this hour for at least 1 month, and you will no longer need an alarm clock. Your subconscious has taken notes during the past month, and as soon as you tell yourself to do it, you will instantly feel better and more content. Why? Since you are walking the path of righteousness. Once waking up at 9 a.m. becomes second nature, convince yourself that you will begin waking up at 7 a.m. and repeat this process for all other tasks. Master the skill of not just keeping your word to yourself but also to others. If you know you won't do anything, you shouldn't be frightened of hurting people's feelings by stating your intentions. And if you are aware that you must do something, then do it. One of the most effective methods to do this is through morning planning. By writing down everything you want to accomplish, you commit to carrying out those things. It is vital that these items be checked off before the end of the day. If you are aware that you will not be able to attain a goal, do not write it down. You could always do it the next day. Therefore, begin modestly, but continue to advance along this path of virtue since your words carry weight. Your reality catches up with your thoughts and actions. Consider this for a moment. who is the supreme ruler of the universe. In Joshua chapter 21, verses 4 and 5, the Bible states that not a single one of the Lord's wonderful promises to the people of Israel failed to materialize. Remember that leading a virtuous life is just doing what God does and living as He has instructed us. If God never breaks His word and always does what He says, then it is only right that we do the same.